Good morning, good afternoon, and evening, baseball fans. Welcome back to the Barstool Baseball Power Ranking Panel Show. It's Carl. I'm joined by Hubs, Castellani, and Clemmer. We're here fresh off an ALCS Game 1. I'll call it a thriller. It was a great game. It was a great game. 2-0. We are going to still do our Power Ranking show with the 4 teams that are left. And like we did last week, it's who do we think has the best chance of winning the World Series? And traditionally, we've used a batting lineup, but I kind of want to kick things off with a question coming out of one game of the ALCS. And it's, are you guys willing to say that the Astros would be 4th because they've already lost a game and the Diamondbacks haven't played? Or do you guys think that the Astros still have a better shot than the Diamondbacks? Clemmer, I'll start with you.
Yeah, the Astros have a better shot than Diamondbacks, yes.
Okay. That's not a crazy question to ask.
I don't think so. I mean, I see, to me, they have the 3 teams, and there's such a big gap before you get to the Diamondbacks.
Even enough to spot them one game, Hubs?
Yeah, because you still got Framber Valdez in game 2. They didn't get beat down today. It was a tight game. I think today would have been wow, are we getting normal Houston dominance here? Or do we have a series? Do we have a legit series? We have a legit series. Texas is here. They showed up big time today. That was awesome. I cannot fucking wait for the rest of these 6 games. I think it goes 7. I really think it goes 7. These are 2 very even matched teams. I don't feel the same way with Arizona. I still think Philly has the edge in almost every way. I'm almost even wavering. I went so hard in the bullpen a couple days ago. I'm almost even wavering there. I got some comments from fans, respectfully, Philly fans want to tout up their team. Philly's at a pretty good spot here.
Okay, so Castellani, you have the Diamondbacks 4th on your list. I would assume that too.
Yeah, I still do. I get the logic behind it, but we're talking teams most likely to win the World Series, given what they've, I forget the last 7 years, just given what I've seen on the field this year and through this postseason, this is still going to be I'm with Hubs. It's going to be a 12-round heavyweight fight between these two. So I think obviously tonight, and this is a dumb thing to say, decrease the chances of them winning this series, but I still think they have a better shot at being the last team standing than Arizona does.
Okay, well said. I like
7 games either, by the way. I'll push back on that a little bit.
You don't think so?
I don't think this ALCS goes 7 games.
No, who the fuck are you to say that? They just played a great 2-0 game, and the Astros didn't. Yeah. The bats weren't.
So by that, do you think Texas is way better? That's what you're saying.
I'll let you guys ask 9 questions, and I'll answer one of them.
All right,
go with mine.
Pick your favorite. No.
Well, I like mine. Who the hell are you? Well, I mean, I'm someone that watches baseball. The other thing is the Astros lost their road game. And where the offense didn't show up, the Rangers are pretty good. And, with them getting Gray and Scherzer back, they're even stronger now, in theory. And I don't love the Astros. The Astros aren't that great. The Astros aren't the same Astros from last year. This is a different team. This is a weaker team. And I think the Rangers, I'm also the guy that called the Rangers a trash bag going to the playoffs. I did not like that team going in. But I really like Eovaldi being healthy, which I did not expect. And now we get Scherzer and Gray back. And the Astros just lost a home game. 7's hard to do, guys.
The Astros also play like shit at home. They have a sub 500 record at home this year. And they had played at a 100 win pace on the road. I know some people can say that. I don't think that's Fugazi either. I think there's legitimate reasoning behind that. So I get your point, but I understand Hub's saying 7. They're evenly matched teams. I mean, they were a game apart from each other in the regular season.
I wonder what
LCSs don't go to 7 games often.
Yeah, we're due.
Yeah,
I'd say it's also more of me just wishfully thinking that we get a 6 series because I really just think these teams are really even here. I think Houston can win on the road. Texas has already proven they can win on the road. I think we get a fucking 7-game series.
I hope you're right.
I think it's fair to come out of tonight's game and feel like a 7-game series is much more in the cards than other ways game 1 could have gone.
I agree. I think I totally agree with that. Okay. I think Texas winning tonight. I think if Houston wins tonight, not necessarily as high chances of 7-game series. I think Texas winning tonight. I feel very good about it.
Okay, so I kind of go the other way.
I want to timestamp this for a second. We clearly have the D-backs 4, which means for purposes of the conversation, then we want to put the Astros 3. Let's get the group to agree on that first.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
Clear. Cool. So let's get into then tonight's game, because it was a great game. And there were a lot of things we talked about in the preview that kind of showed up that I very much like. You saw a lot of first pitch swinging against Verlander early. Castellani loves pointing this out, where Verlander struggles a little bit. You think he could give up a crooked number early and then kind of does well somehow, some way without his best stuff. He competed. I thought he looked flat, like we've talked about, but he did compete his balls off. And then Monty, once he got a 1-run lead, I just thought he got into like gangster mode. He just snapped. He looked awesome.
Dude, he
just
was
looked
so
awesome.
good.
So
He was so good. Good for him, man. Sorry, go.
yeah, no, I was just a quick game, like an overall quick, fast pace. You know, they could turn around and play. Yeah. What do you think about that, Clever?
I love it. It's amazing. I mean, like, this is the pitch clock, but also it's the efficient baseball. Like, this was a clean game that was what you'd expect from an LCS. These are two really good teams going at it, very efficient. Every play matters. Like, you know what I mean? Like, every catch matters, every swing matters. It's because there's so few base runners, there's so little offense that every single time a guy gets on base, it's like, oh shit, I gotta watch this now. Which is what you want from a playoff game. This was a great game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not down on this game at all. I just think it's very hard to get 7 games. I think if the Astros had won, I think we'd be more likely to see a 7-gamer than if the Rangers had won. If that makes any sense. Just because we just saw the Rangers just stole a game from Houston in Houston.
It's fair. With Evaldi going tomorrow. Yeah, I do get that. But Phillies won the World Series last year, and that thing, Astros took care of that in 6. Yeah, no, it was an awesome game. I mean, look, man, the Cardinals had to trade Montgomery. Their season was going in the toilet. There's no reason to hold on to him. Those prospects better be good, because he is going. I mean, he's turning himself into a folk hero right now. I mean, it's weird how I know one of those starts wasn't great because he was pitching with a huge lead, but this is history repeating itself. He's all of a sudden Cliff Lee in 2010 when they traded for him and he went. They did trade because he was on the Mariners for half a season.
It was in 2009 they traded for him. We talked about this last show.
And then for the Rangers?
Oh no, I'm talking about Phillies.
Yeah, I'm talking about when he pitched for the Rangers in 2010.
The Rangers,
Okay, yeah. So he was traded. Okay, sorry. Go.
Yeah. He had a weird career. Very weird. Played for the Phillies twice, but it's like this tall lefty. Not overwhelming stuff, but Carl, you and I, it's ironic because you and I talked about it. There's some about those lefties who just, have those pitches, that 2-seamer that's going to play in on the hands, it's going to jam you in. They could change eye levels. And it wasn't like it was smooth sailing tonight. He had multiple chances with runners on base where they could have blown that thing open. And he just made every single one of his pitches. He doesn't even have a heartbeat out there. I mean, what a gem he's been for Texas since coming over.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan Montgomery was traded by the Yankees because Brian Cashman did not believe that he could pitch in the postseason. That was the reason. He basically, there may be a direct quote, but if there's not, then you can put 2 and 2 together. He did not believe he was a postseason pitcher, a guy who can rely on a 1, 2, 3. He also, and this goes to the flaw of the Yankees analytics, they did not believe his fastball was a good enough pitch to be utilized in an effective way. Jordan Montgomery has used that pitch way more with Texas of late than he has with the Yankees. He was awesome. That 4th inning that Chris is kind of alluding to, Maldonado's up, the bases loaded, and he puts him away. Game could have really changed right there. He was nails. 6 1/3 shutout. Good for Jordan. He's going to get himself paid this offseason. Funny enough, the Yankees were rumored today to be in on him. That would be the biggest 180 I've ever seen out of Brian Cashman. I don't think it's going to happen because he's too much of an ego to let that happen. But good for Jordan Montgomery, man. He's really put himself in a really good position here to, be a star in this postseason and then get himself paid in the offseason.
So let me ask the group this then. Do you think that Jordan Montgomery dominated the Astros tonight, or do you think that the Astros performed poorly? Do you give more credit to Jordan Montgomery for pitching well?
Montgomery. I think his pitch sequence, dude, his first pitch sequence and they really broke it down immediately when it was happening. His pitch sequence to Yordan Alvarez, that first at bat, he fucking diced. He diced Yordan Alvarez up all night. It was fucking impressive. No one does that shit. He attacked Jordan, and he made him look silly. Good for it. I keep saying it because I was happy for him when he first came up and he got a shot with the Yankees. To see him blossom into this, special stuff.
So let's stay on the Astros for a second because I want to spend some more time on the Rangers. But while we still have the Astros here at 3 on the show, Verlander. Anybody feel like he's gonna that next start? We're looking at 7 innings, 10, 12 strikeouts.
I don't know.
I think the opposite.
Me too. Why?
Yeah, the question is, I thought he pitched well enough tonight for the Astros to win.
Yeah, he was great.
They didn't. He's the type of guy that's leaving there and feeling like I didn't do enough. He's an extremely sensitive fucking guy. And I think historically he bounces back in these situations and puts gems up. But however, I don't know if you guys saw it tonight and thought, is this starting the beginning of the end of him in October? Or does he go to that next gear in the next start? Like, what would be where would you see him bouncing back from this? Castellani, you've watched him more than anybody else.
I don't think, and he's still so damn good, I don't think that next gear, it really exists anymore the way it did, when he was pitching complete game shutouts in the ALDS against the A's when he was with the Tigers. But I think he's obviously very capable of another 6+ inning start. The guy knows his body better than any pitcher ever, so I'm not concerned about wear and tear, breaking down. But he did. I'm not gonna say he got lucky tonight, but he did not have his A+ stuff, which does, and that's why I get your point. It does kind of scare me because next time out he could be great. But I think I don't see him going out and shoving, but I think he's going to continue to twirl, solid, serviceable 6+ inning baseball. He pitched well enough to earn a win tonight. The offense did get you onto the board, so no concern. But I also don't see him going 8 strong, which means he's probably going to go 8 strong because he's Verlander. But you get my point. Yeah.
No, he didn't have command of his sinker.
We're at a point here where Jordan Montgomery is a better pitcher than Justin Verlander.
I mean, they pitched better than him tonight.
Oh no, I think for the season, this past season.
He overall,
Jordan Montgomery's been a better pitcher than Justin. It's close, but Montgomery's a better pitcher now. Guys get old.
Yeah, well, Verlander had that month on the IL to start the season, but yeah, I mean, you're probably right. Yeah, he had a great year. Like I said,
nothing against Verlander. I think this is about as good as you're going to get from Verlander. I mean, he took a Rangers lineup that's very good, very deep. And he gave up 2 runs in 6 2/3 innings. You're not going to get a better performance than that from him, I don't think. I mean, you're not going to get a better... you're looking at me like I'm crazy, Carl. The guy's 40 years old. What are we doing?
It's tough to ask for better than this.
I mean, that's an exception.
Against this lineup, too.
I'm saying he has done better than that.
No doubt.
Bob Gibson, but he's not going to do very well today either.
No doubt, but at his age against this kind of lineup, it's tough to ask for more than 6 2/3, 2 runs. It's just
that's a great start.
It's a really tough ask. That's you should be able to win with that stat. If you show me that stat line, kind of assume you Astros win that game. Almost.
So do you think he does better or worse in his next start in Texas?
I think worse, man. Worse. I think Texas. I'll say worse. The film. I mean, I'm always going to favor familiarity. That's not the right pronunciation of that. But, I just listen. Sunday night not going to happen. But I'm going to always favor that with an offense. I think an offense is going to kind of get on you a little bit more. I found that one little mini thing with Verlander's start. They talk about how, Seager's one of the best first pitch swingers. He's just so aggressive, and they just talk about it. And you think all right, maybe he's maybe Verlander gets to maybe he takes a pitch against Verlander. Nope, curveball first pitch against him, and he hits it to the right side for a base hit. Seager's so fucking cool. It just doesn't matter what pitch he gets. He just swings right away and just always connects. He's just a special hitter. But to your answer in full, I think the more Texas sees of him, the worse it gets for Verlander.
I mean, let's not forget, the Rangers had the best offense in the American League last year. Yeah. The best batting average, the best slugging percentage, the best on-base percentage. So, for Verlander to go there to pitch against them and do as well as he did, I think that's probably the ceiling for him. I don't think to expect more. I think is only going to leave you disappointed.
I agree.
If he go out and go 5 2/3 and give up 3 runs the next start, I think that's probably a pretty fair baseline. But that's not bad either necessarily. I mean, as long as you keep your team in the game, that's all you can probably ask for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did more than that tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
He threw 7 innings of 1-run ball in Texas on September 6th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Against Scherzer.
Yeah. Be a great matchup if he came back if Scherzer was there for game 4.
Ooh.
How about that?
Well, but you would.
I think Frank the Tank would implode.
Exactly. In some kind of world that could possibly happen. Now, Framber Valdez, do you guys think he pitches better or worse tomorrow night than Verlander did tonight?
Worse.
Worse
because that's a hard level to keep up with. There's nothing even against Framber. It's just that's tough.
Yeah, I'm even more pessimistic because I just don't think he's right now. We talked about it on the show last time, Carl. I think he's just got such an insane volume of innings, and really, since the second half began, he has not been the same pitcher, and he's facing arguably the best active October pitcher in Eovaldi, who's back to full health and shoving his balls off. So yeah, there's concern there.
Yeah, I think we almost underestimated Eovaldi, like using September as like rehab, because this Texas needed him. And like, we almost looked at his numbers going into October and we're like, yikes. It was really just him they needed bodies. They needed him to work through his stuff to like he didn't take any rehab assignments, and this is him just full bore. So that's very scary for the Astros.
Yeah.
This is another reason why I don't think we're looking at a 7-game series, is that like you have Eovaldi going in game 2 against Framber, who, like Castellani said, he isn't right. Like he isn't the Framber that we know that he can be, or at least he hasn't shown that. Now, can he turn it around quick? Of course. But, I mean, I think there's a good chance the Rangers win game 2. And if they leave Houston up 2-0, this ain't going 7, boys.
That's the thing, though, Clemmer. If they leave, even if they do leave 2-0, and that's not a certainty by any means,
no.
but like they don't have the 3-4, and maybe Houston doesn't either, obviously.
Right.
Like you're going to get Javier, who's an excellent, pitched well in the postseason, obviously, and then you're Queedy. But you don't know what you're getting out of Scherzer. And you certainly don't know what you're getting out of the Heaney-Dunning piggyback.
They do have John Gray.
They're going to the bullpen. John Gray's going to start.
Okay, great. So but that's all. Those are all uncertainties. Like, those guys haven't pitched in a while. So
yeah, but Urquidy's an uncertainty too, though.
He is.
He was like 6.
I'm just saying, like, even if Texas goes up 2-0 here, could still see Houston finding a way against that pitching to force it to 7.
That's a big ask. Big ask on the road.
They're the defending world champs.
I don't care about that too much.
Clemmer, you're going to hate this, but 2019, they took that series to 7. Shit, they had a 3-2 lead against Washington, with down 2-0 after facing Scherzer and Strasburg. So I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I do think anything is possible with this team, especially one that played significantly better baseball on the road this year.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like to me that one team was better than the other tonight. It just felt like Montgomery shoved, and Houston couldn't get anything going. Verlander pitched perfectly fine, should have a stat line that should be deserving of a win. So to me, it just feels like these teams are pretty even, and I feel like my gut says this goes 7, but we'll see.
So do we have the Rangers second? Is somebody going to say, everybody here is going to say Phillies are first?
Just off path, where the Phillies have a strong advantage over the Diamondbacks, and they're an overwhelming favorite here to win this series. So I feel like just off of that, based off of how I think this rest of the series is going to go, the Phillies have a path here that's clearer, and I think they have to be the favorite. And you can even say Philly against anybody is the favorite here. That's how well put together this team is.
I agree with everything Hub said.
Yeah.
I guess that.
It's a real rarity. I guess the one thing I would ask is there anything else the Rangers could have done to earn the top spot? Or is it just the Phillies, the way that Philly impressed us against Atlanta is it was, and I agree with you guys, it just guaranteed them that number 1 lock.
It's not just against Atlanta. They have the most complete team. Their roster is very deep, and I just really love even their starting pitching. Their 3-4-5 is much stronger. 5 doesn't matter anymore, I guess, but their 3-4 I feel is stronger than. I think there's a really good chance. I haven't bet on it that the Phillies sweep the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I think the Astros are better than I think the Astros are a better matchup or a tougher matchup for the Phillies than the Rangers.
I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet. I don't know. I don't know what's the better matchup for Philly.
I still think, even if it's in the World Series, I still think the Rangers bullpen spits it up at some point in a big situation.
Chapman wanted to do it
almost
tonight.
did tonight. Yeah, Chapman tried to, but
Did any of you think that was gone off the bat?
I did.
Yeah.
It looked like the Altuve home run in 19. I think it was a slider again, just a hanger. Yeah, Evan Carter
too.
Yeah, good thing we talked about Evan Carter before this series started because he fucking balled out tonight.
Defensively, dude, he made multiple plays that were exceptional.
The biggest catches, the game. Incredible job by him. Kid's 20 years old. I mean,
what a star! What a fucking
awesome.
star! What a fucking star! Fucking super star! It is bullshit. They have this guy on their team on top of Seager and come on, man. They got this guy too.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off. Good for him. He was awesome.
Yeah,
they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
No, not even close. No,
he barely made the playoffs. And I know we're saying Eovaldi was using his time to get his innings in, but those were crucial games.
No, those were big. He was awful. Yeah,
and Evan Carter, 5 home runs in 23 games in the regular season. He has an on base of 413, a slug of 645. Then he goes to the postseason. He's got a slug going today of 857. This kid's 20. This doesn't happen. That's incredible.
Yeah, very cool. Very, very, very cool.
Big catch. Hey, big play by Simeon too in the 9th inning.
Yes.
Leclerc needed that. Leclerc, good fastball. Josh Young healed, like him, looks good. He had performed poorly down the stretch, but then upon further inspection, it would seem that he, along with Eovaldi, in that same camp of coming back from injury and righting themselves for the rest of the season. And so it seems like he's fully kind of bounced back from what I've seen on Rangers message boards.
Can I bring in something?
Yeah.
So one thing I think we need to talk about is the Altuve play when he missed second going back. This is exactly the kind of play that people would be like, that's, if that was anybody else but Altuve, or someone in the Rangers, that's pedigree. He hasn't been here before. He messed up. It's no, this guy's played a million postseason games. They still fuck up because it doesn't matter. This shit can just happen. Guys can make mental mistakes, whether it's your 100th postseason game or your first. And we saw with Altuve, that was a huge error, a huge blunder that changed maybe the entire game, maybe the entire series. You can't do that. And I just want to point out that, this is a great example of how, just because you have experienced the postseason doesn't necessarily mean that you're always going to make the right play.
It's disgusting baseball. It's a shame. It's a shame we had to see that. Kids who stayed up to see that just are horrible.
What are you saying? What are you saying, Hubs?
I'm saying it's disgusting for young fans to watch Altuve make such a blunder like that. It's such a big moment. It's disgusting.
You are correct, Clemmer. At the same time, I can think of 15 other instances in which Altuve came up huge in October. I don't think there's anybody on here who's ever said there's a perfect October player. But yeah, no, look, because it was about mental mistakes, about being there before. That's what I keep getting forced on my throat. Those guys been here before. He won't. Well, this wasn't a physical.
You're mad about something that didn't happen though. Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. I get where you're coming from. You want to point out that a senior veteran, established October player, can make mistakes.
He's saying the narrative we keep bringing up, a player of that magnitude should be making that error.
That certain players are better in October than others, because we're over here blowing Nathan Eovaldi.
I think Nathan Eovaldi is a good pitcher, and I think Jose Altuve is just a good player. But so they're gonna usually do things right because they're very good baseball players.
Do you think? And we're going back to it, but do you not notice a difference between the way Eovaldi looks in October versus how he usually looks in the regular season?
He's meaner. He has he's making less of a grin.
He pitches better. His numbers across the board are better against better competition.
I think that stuff has a way of eating itself out. Like I said, I always bring up Jack Morris. Look how he did in 91. Right. Look how he did in 92. That shit just evens itself out. Say Andy Pettitte. Everyone says Andy Pettitte is this great postseason pitcher, and he was very good. His ERA in the postseason is higher than it is in the regular season.
Yeah, he benefited.
That's more because he won a lot of big games.
Yeah.
That's why.
He was just the face of the postseason for 15 years. He just got a ton of work. And that's why the ERAs are very similar. The ERAs are very close because at the end of the day, it all kind of evens out.
We'll see how Nate pitches.
I think I'm sure he'll do well. He's a very good pitcher.
Very curious how Houston comes out against Nate and what attack they go with, because I feel like people have been pretty aggressive around him, which has allowed him to get early in counts and ahead in pitch count and all that. So we'll see what Houston does. Maybe they work him a little bit, get into that bullpen, because that should be the attack, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. They play Monday, right? There's no day off?
No, yeah, they play tomorrow in the afternoon, like 4:30.
Houston's game plan needs to be to go into that bullpen, work his pitch count, get him out before the 6th inning.
That's why you can't pitch Verlander game 4. You have to pitch in game 5. It's 2-3-2, right?
2-3-2.
Yeah, I don't think he said they would face off, and he just said Scherzer might go game.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I was just saying, like the concept, like Frank the Tank is gonna be a fucking shit. Pray for me and Clemmer in this office. He's just gonna be screaming at these people.
Oh yeah,
they're not even gonna face each other. They're just screaming.
And the thing that's the most painful, I guess, is that no matter what, one of those guys is in the World Series.
Right.
We'll hear Frank's rants will last well until the World Series is over.
Are there any former Mets on the Phillies?
Well, he's not gonna pitch probably with Tyler Walker, right?
Yeah,
but he's not gonna pitch.
That'll count though.
It's even on the NLC roster. Is he on the roster?
They haven't announced the roster yet.
True. But actually maybe.
He might be. They might use him as a long man. I
don't know what they do with Sanchez. Sanchez probably is there. Ranger.
They also have Lorenzen, too.
Yeah, he might not be there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Phillies won.
Yeah.
Confidently, comfortably.
They've earned it.
Until further notice, I will say, as I said with me and Clemmer, we were on the show, and Carl, I think Arizona wins game 1. But that's just something I keep sticking with. I think I'm seeing a narrative here with Gallen. Grew up in the area. It's a good line for them. I think Arizona. I still like Arizona for the series. I'm sorry, Philly for the series. Think Arizona wins game 1.
See, I'm such a big Wheeler guy. I think that's turned into one of the best contracts, like pitching contracts in free agency history. Honestly, when you look at he has turned 30. Went to Philly and got better. Like, it's not quite Scherzer to Washington levels, but if they win a World Series, it's up. He's been fucking great, and he's been good in October.
It's so crazy to think that of those Mets pitchers, Harvey, Syndergaard, Wheeler, Nats, DeGrom, Wheeler is going to be the one that has the most career wins.
Yeah. And maybe we'll see if he catches DeGrom. I got to check the baseball reference pages. Maybe even like the highest WAR, too. I mean, he's going to pitch for a while.
That might be tough. But maybe.
He's at a 29 WAR at the moment.
When he was in New York, Clemmer, like when he left, were you like, oh, well, he's going to, like, what did you think? Because I was like, okay, he'll give him like a few good years, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't know he had this extra gear in him. I mean, you heard about him when he was a prospect, but you didn't really see it. You always saw him be like good, not great, and now he's become like very good, maybe great, when he wasn't doing that with the Mets. So he's definitely kind of reached a different level, but he's also came off major injuries. He missed 2 years back-to-back because of injuries. Like, he had some major injuries.
Dude, huge, yeah, 100%. So,
yeah, I mean, he missed 14 and 15.
He missed 15 and 16.
15 and 16, excuse me, the playoff years, of course.
Yeah, and in 2020, I guess it is that's COVID.
The COVID year, yeah.
Okay, so he hasn't had anything with the Phillies.
No, that's what's
any of the sort, and that's where that was the real drawback with Wheeler was health, because when he pitched, it was pretty fucking good.
Pretty decent. He was decent. He was never great. He was like good. Like, you could see some of the greatness there once in a while.
2018, he's really good.
But then, then he cooked into a different gear.
Those were bad.
I just want to introduce I was thinking that I wanted to at least have a conversation about the Rangers being ahead of one game.
Yeah, I still just think the path of the Diamondbacks and the fear of the Astros puts Philly ahead.
Now, to be fair, you did just say that you thought Gallen could win game 1. So now we're talking about a 2-game swing here.
So the thing here with Carl is my brain is scrambled. It's so backwards.
Explains a lot.
That's almost more of a gambler in me. I just see that line. I don't think it's high enough. I think Vegas is trying to tell me that Arizona is going to be in this game 1, and Gallen's going to pitch well. So that's just a gambler in me. But overall, I think Philly is in a pretty good driver's seat here.
I'll echo kind of what Hubs is saying too, in that, like, if they're gonna win any game, I feel like it's almost like they're going to win that one. Zach Gallen is fantastic. He's obviously not as good on the road, but he's very good. Maybe they kind of, keep that winning streak going.
Has pitched well on the road so far in the postseason too. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, 2 runs, 6 innings. Yeah, I mean, it's been good. Been good for sure.
If he does that in game 1, you sign up for that right now.
Yeah, I agree. Especially against that Phillies lineup. No, I think I agree with Hubs in that I wouldn't blow my mind if the Diamondbacks win game 1 and the Phillies win the next 4. Like that's not the craziest thing in the world.
Sure.
Yeah, Merrill Kelly's been pretty fucking good too.
Yes.
Merrill Kelly was, I mean, this is
Merrill Kelly's from the neighborhood. He took his brother's such a big Phillies fan. Merrill Kelly took his brother to Game 3 last year in the World Series or something.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Oh, we have another. So much Philly here.
How about that? Allegedly, I haven't verified that. I read that in the comment section of our YouTube page. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. Appreciate that, guys. But I like Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen giving you 4 starts in a 7-game series.
But you have Wheeler and Nola giving you 4 starts.
Yep, you do. That you do.
Nola's probably the biggest Nola fan, maybe to a fault. So
why?
He's such a mystery.
It does sound like it is a little bit to a fault because he's good, but maybe not as good as you're indicating. Why?
Everything about him should be better, and I just keep waiting for him to get better. Like his stats all tell me this is a guy that's on the precipice of greatness. I watch him pitch. I'm very impressed by his stuff. So he passes my brain test, passes my eye test. But then I look at the end of the year and it's like, this is a guy that's kind of basic. 4.46 ERA. 2 years ago was 4.63. He had that 1 year in the middle that was good. But it's like, this guy, in my opinion, should be top 5 Cy Young every year. That's doesn't typically happen. It's happened twice with him. But it should be like a more regular thing. So I just expect so much from this guy. But maybe he's finally kind of cooking it in now. I don't know.
He's like a golfer who's awesome and plays and just is awesome. And then one hole, his mistakes are the worst mistakes. When he throws a ball over the middle of the plate, it looks like a fucking beach ball. His balls get hammered. That's why he gives up so many extra base hits and home runs.
Yeah, he's had 4 home postseason starts. 1 of them's been bad. 3 have been really good.
But he can be awesome. When he's dialed in, he's tough to hit because he's got so much movement and command in the lower half of the zone.
I'd worry about him on the
filthy
road
stuff.
You're absolutely right, Carl, too, about what his. It's easy to see what the problem is. He gives up the home run too much. When he doesn't give up a home run, he wins. It's very basic. It's elementary school stuff, but it's so black and white with him. He had 32 home runs this year. He had a kind of an average year. The last year he gave 19 home runs. He had a great year. It's literally that simple. It's those 13 home runs make the difference of a great year.
That's why it's funny that in Game 3 you have a guy who gave up a ton of home runs facing an offense that hit more home runs than any team ever, and he was great. It was great. I mean, 5 2/3, 2 earned against that offense, fucking fantastic. He's been excellent. If him and Wheeler are the way that they've pitched in these first 2 rounds, it's done. They might not lose a fucking game.
Yeah, he's yet to give up a home postseason home run in his career. Aaron Nola.
Zach Gallen's still the best pitcher in the series, though.
Yeah. Carl, you seem to get not to say annoyed, but you seem almost be bemused by how little we respect the Diamondbacks. They actually won 84 games this year. Diamondbacks are not a very good team.
Yeah, but the Phillies won 84 games last year and
won the first.
Okay, whatever, close enough. The Phillies. Okay. How about the St. Louis Cardinals won 83 games and won a World Series?
Yeah.
I think it's because the Diamondbacks are playing good baseball right now, and that's what I'm interested in.
Yeah, I think if you get this far, you earn respect.
And I would argue,
of course.
Look, it's hard not to point out the record. It is crazy. They are way better than their record. They had to call it a bad stretch is an understatement. They had a bad month and a half. I mean, they were 6-25 or something for a month.
They forgot how to play baseball.
They were literally the worst team of all time for a month, and then they bounced out of it. But they had a great April through June, and then a really good late August into September. They just had that bad stretch. But the team that we saw in May is here in October right now. They're playing great baseball. And they had a good deadline, too. Adding Pham, adding Sewald, those are 2 important pieces for them.
Important for Arizona to start early against Wheeler. Get that crowd out of there a little bit. Just score the first run. I mean, that's so fucking cliche, and I'm sure A-Rod will say that on the telecast tomorrow. But, so important in Philadelphia to take the crowd out of it so quickly.
So with the Diamondbacks, I know, Chris, you said, this is a team that is much better than the record. I don't know if that's entirely true. They have gone 5-0 this playoffs, which is fantastic. Obviously, can't do any better than that. But they faced a Brewers team that lost one of their best pitchers like the day before the playoffs started.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go and they play a Dodgers team that has a pitching staff of either elderly men or people that can't pitch very well. Like, it's just awful.
Carl does bring this up.
They gave up 6 runs, though.
They shut down that lineup. They took their best element and minimized it.
And they came back against Corbin Burns. They were down 3 runs to Corbin Burns. And like we brought that up in a previous show. That's fucking impressive.
And they beat Freddie Peralta, who's a good pitcher.
Yeah, you love Freddie Peralta.
I do. Strikes out a ton of guys. I like him a lot. So that's fair.
Dude, we've gone at arms about Freddie Peralta on this program.
Nope, that's fair. The Brewers just can't hit though. So I kind of want to see them face a team that we're going to see them face, the Phillies, like a team that's like a legit World Series contender in my mind.
Yeah, and we can do the revisionist history, but when we did the power rankings coming into this postseason, we had the Brewers fourth most likely team to win the World Series, and they went in and kind of dominated them.
I'll defend the panel for a second. We thought Woodruff was still healthy. That's a big loss. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing too.
And he might never pitch again.
Like 2.
We might have killed Woodruff. He might never pitch again.
Yeah, and I was going to miss one. Yeah, so if you had told me the Brewers wouldn't have Woodruff, I never would have had them 4th.
That's fair. Yeah.
Definitely fair.
It is entirely because they're playing good baseball late right now, and I've been impressed with what they've done in the playoffs. I think they've got a couple guys that are hard to defend against. Like Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte are going to get their damage in the series. I think it's like a guarantee. So even if Wheeler and Nola deal, there's some really tough spots in that Diamondbacks lineup. And
I see 3 tough spots, and I see you keep saying this, and I don't like their lineup. I see 3 very good hitters.
Do you think if the Diamondbacks won the World Series, Clemmer will put them 1? The power rankings.
He might still up.
This is not this is what you guys do.
Twins.
You guys got to put it all on me. It's not fair. We all said 4.
I'm busting balls.
Yeah, clear. I agreed too. I agreed. I have them 4. I just want to, but they're not 5. They're not sitting at home,
dude.
What about this? Do the Phillies is there a disadvantage that the Phillies have to go to Phoenix? That trip, is that any advantage? Anything at all there?
Not
because it's not a hostile crowd waiting for them.
It's a bad trip. It's like a 5-hour flight.
It's a flight, man. Everyone can take. They're professional athletes. They can take flights. The fall asleep, they didn't even know they're there. Come on.
Well, I don't. Maybe pitchers are Zach Wheeler playing some golf. True North, nice golf course. I don't know. A couple girls going out in Scottsdale. Hey, we're talking about this. Hey, I'm just trying to pull up some things maybe you won't find in the scouting report on. I'm
just saying. I wrote a blog. I read a blog early of every baseball season, like why your team can and cannot contend, and I wasn't very fond of the Diamondbacks. And a gentleman on Instagram messaged me back and forth with how, and he gave it to me. He goes, "I'm going to tell you how they're going to make it. Like this bullpen is better than what you think." Not exactly statistically backed up that way, but like I'm waiting for him to message me. Every day I check my phone. I'm like, okay, he didn't. Okay, good. I don't have to get into this right now, but he's so right. He was so unbelievably right about this team. I was so wrong. And I'm just dreading every day. And he might listen and be like, wow, now I can have him. But like, just terrified of it.
I have a question for you guys. Let's say the Diamondbacks do get swept. Embarrassing fashion. They just get the doors blown out. How do you look back at the season for them if that happens? Is it still a
giant win?
A wild overachievement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the best season they've, well, at least since 2007.
Yeah.
I mean, but maybe arguably since 2001.
I'll declare it an injustice because they DFA'd Nick Ahmed in September.
No, that got me out. That made me sad.
Yeah, that pissed me off. He's a good dude.
Leave him on the roster. Like, what? That doesn't hurt anybody. That was strange to me.
Yeah. They're big on Jordan Lawler.
Did Torrey get extended also, or is just the GM?
I think he did a few years back, I want to say.
Okay. Well, the GM, Hazen got the extension, so I think overall it's a win, man.
I've always liked that.
I just meant if they get the shit kicked out of them, I would not consider them to be a great team.
But I don't think that's like even where like that's just like silly to even start with. Like I think you just like a very successful season
I think the other 3 teams though, you can make a case are maybe not the Astros if they get their shit kicked out of them, but you know what I mean? Like I think the Phillies, I don't know. I don't know.
It's just that I don't get the even conversation around it. Like for them, it shouldn't be like, are they a great team? It's just like they're playing with house money at the moment, and they have a lot to build on. They have a lot of young guys on this team, Sans Longoria,
right?
Like there's a lot
Young
to build
impact
on.
players.
Yeah, and they got a GM who knows what he's fucking doing. They have a very, very good manager, very, very good young core players to build with. So like they're in the up and up, and this is a tremendous year for them, no matter what happens.
Remember when they DFA'd Madison Bumgarner 4 starts in the season?
Yeah,
tremendous move. One of the best.
I forgot he pitched this year,
dude. I wish Brian Gash would have an ounce of that foresight to like just be like, hey, you know what, this guy fucking does nothing for us.
Right.
Get him out of town. His demeanor and his person, get him gone. He is not here for the same reasons we are.
You know what's crazy? Imagine if it was like Madison Bumgarner from a couple of years ago and they had him in this rotation, like playoff Madison Bumgarner.
Oh my! Could you imagine Madison, like vintage Giants Madison Bumgarner?
He's your number 3 guy or whatever.
Think about Ace going to Philly.
Right. But I'm saying you put Kelly, Gallen, and Bumgarner. I mean, they're paying him.
You send Mad Bum into Philly tomorrow night against that crowd.
He's so sick.
I got fucking. Oh my God! I'm like half mast thinking about it.
That's one example. He never had that Jack Morris. He turned to shit, but in the regular season. But he never had that bad playoff start, did he? I can't think of one. I know 2016 he
took the ball. He says, "Are we in the postseason?" Yep. All right, cool.
He did give up a home run to Jake Arrieta. I was going to say NLCS.
Arrieta home run. He had 2 bad starts in 2012, but he shoved in the World Series. He went 7 scoreless in the World Series.
They won that game, by the way. The Giants won the game. He gave up a 3-run bomb to Jake in the first, and then the Giants ended up winning that game.
His last start. Yeah.
That was the only. That was the only runs he gave up too. He went 5 innings, 3 earned.
Career ERA 2.11 in the postseason.
Yeah,
in the World Series, it's 0.29. Like legitimately, isn't it something?
25. Yes, yeah.
At the start before that game where he had the 3-run bomb, he threw a complete game shutout.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
The Connor Gillespie game. Yeah.
Yep.
And I watched it.
Bruce Bochy mentored him. Man, Bruce Bochy.
Just a winner.
I mean, man, if you didn't have respect for that man, if you didn't, kill yourself. But like
managing that bullpen spectacularly right now.
Crap, man. What a yeah.
Mitch Garver hitting 3rd. That's such a Bruce Bochy October head scratcher. I don't understand it,
dude. Even they had a 4.77 in the regular season bullpen ERA. They are 1.86 right now, 19 1/3. Their clear weakness. Maybe if you broke down power ranking, we did a power rankings of weaknesses of all these teams. We'd probably put the Rangers bullpen as the worst weakness of anyone. And right now, it is not showing anything. It is almost, I think we all agree, though, it's a ticking time bomb with Aroldis Chapman. One of these is going to be really bad.
You'd think, yeah.
So let's go through one more time. The rankings: 1 Phillies, 2 Rangers.
You did it again, Chris.
I don't know what that is. It's come up on Facebook.
There's the thumbs up. What is that?
Yeah, the thumbs up bubble.
He did the ghost?
Yeah.
I can't do ghosts. It's fucking 12:30 at night. I can't do a ghost.
Guys,
I can't do a ghost.
I have a ghost in my house.
I don't believe it.
I'm going to bed. Like, I'm taking a melatonin.
Oh, really?
I can't do a ghost.
Right? You really don't believe in my you don't believe in my ghost, huh?
I do not believe in ghosts.
Fine. I will conjure a spell. And we will.
Wait, do you know where he lives, Clemmer? Do you know where Clemmer lives?
Oh, that's not. Maybe we'll do it off camera. We'll do it off camera where I live.
Hold on a second.
I'm not going to say where you live.
I know, but people might know, but could put 2 and 2 together pretty easily.
Okay.
Well, fine. You're haunted. You're haunted. That's all I'm going to say. You're a haunted man.
I think Clemmer is a ghost. You're
I'm not a ghost. I'm a real person.
You're a ghoul. You ghoulish character, you.
I'm real.
The night you get haunted and you have to tell me in the morning you got haunted is going to be the most demoralizing.
His ghost.
Get him tonight. If you're listening,
get him. Get me ghost. I'm still in the office, so unless there's ghosts here.
No, they listen to the show.
Yeah, just bodies.
Well, welcome, ghosts.
Get
them. Rangers 2, Astros 3, Diamondbacks 4. Power rankings. This is a power ranking show. Any closing comments, thoughts, things you guys want to get off your chest?
I'm going to say Rangers in 6.
I have Rangers in 6.
5? I'm going to say 5. I'm going to say 6. I hope Hubs is right. I hope it is 7. And I'm going to say the Diamondbacks lose and get swept. Say Phillies in 4.
Wow.
I like the Diamondbacks in an upset just so you can eat your words. Like, particularly, I really want an upset so you can sink your teeth into this offseason and do some thinking, Clemmer.
About what? What am I thinking about?
Inward thinking about how the best team on paper doesn't always win.
Oh, I never said that. And if anything, the Diamondbacks win, it proves my point that you don't need pedigree.
You're Mr. Chalk.
You're Johnny Chalk.
You are Chalky Clever. You're Chalky
Buddy,
Clever.
you grew up, all you did was just draw on sidewalks with chalk. You got chalk on your hands.
I don't like that.
You're Chalky Clever. You are Chalk.
You love cleaning the chalkboard in elementary school.
Slap the erasers.
Slap the erasers, yep.
It makes it dust. I don't like that.
Your blood is made of chalk.
No, my blood is real blood. I'll breathe on you tomorrow, Hubs.
I refuse to allow that. Mine is the same as what I've been saying, like an idiot for the last few days, and I'm sure the Phillies will win fucking 15-0, but I think Diamondbacks win game 1.
Who wins the series? How many games? I want prediction.
I said Phillies in 6, I think, on the last show, so I'll stick with that.
And how about the other series?
Rangers in 7.
Okay, Solani?
Astros in 7, Phillies in 5.
Chalk.
No, we can't both be chalk because I said Rangers, he said Astros.
It almost isn't chalk anymore, though, Carl, because the Astros lost tonight. So
nothing's chalk at this point.
I think almost Texas is minus 150 now live.
No, just doing that with the Phillies. That's just a joke. I just wanted to chicken chalk.
What is that right now, actually, real quick? Texas is minus 170 to win the series.
To win the series? Minus 170?
Sizable. That is sizable.
That is almost might nuke them.
So what's the Astros? Like plus 140?
140, yeah, 144.
That's what the Diamondbacks are.
The Astros were plus 120 going into the game to win the series. So it's a pretty big swing.
Series to go 7 is the favorite at plus 190 at the moment.
7's hard to do.
Ooh. And do you mind telling me what the line is for tomorrow's game?
For the ALCS?
Game 2 ALCS. Because I really like the Astros here.
Houston minus 130. Not a good line. Not a good line for Houston.
That's not a good line.
You like against the Evaldi? You like the Astros?
No, but I didn't know the line yet. But yeah, against the Evaldi, I don't care.
It's not a good line for Houston.
I know. That's a terrible line.
Why don't you care, bro? That interests me. I don't understand.
No, I was saying I like Houston before I knew the lines.
Mm-hmm.
I like Houston a lot, but I thought it would have been closer to like minus 110. I did not think minus 130. Minus 130 is high.
I'm seeing like the AL game is. I don't think the AL game's first. Like they play tonight.
I know. I think that's unfair, but the Philly
it's only
night
a few
game,
hours. It's only a few hours. Yeah, I guess the Philly night game is like blockbuster, like with the crowd and all that. Makes sense.
One of you guys should go. One of you East Coast guys should get on a train and go down and go to a Philly playoff game. It's awesome.
We have the stream tomorrow and everything else.
Okay, everybody tune into that stream. This is Barstool Baseball. This is the Power Ranking Show. A little different look. Only 4 teams. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Subscribe wherever you guys find the show, and we'll be back with some more playoff coverage later this week. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Until next time.